Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the summary for the day of 310 to 311 for the 30th to 31st of December, and Happy New Year. I believe I believe by now maybe LA has do its countdown already. Just now I saw the New York countdown, so Happy New Year to you guys. And for those that don't like my video, don't like my reports, think I'm talking rubbish, just don't watch. I saw some of the comments. It's like pathetic, say that I reported half a year ago that Russia is going to conquer Bakhmut. It's like, since when, man? Oh my god, the pro-Ukrainians guys, right? You guys have to chill it. You guys look pathetic, when y'all try to put out fake news in the comment, put misinformation, try to mislead people, thinking that make people think that I report nonsense. You guys, half a year ago, I don't even think Russia have conquered Popasna. So just fuck off, man. So anyway, start off with the Russia missile strike. So for these idiots, emotional damage. The Russia strikes Kiev hotel, immediately try to take out the foreign advisors at the Alpha Vito hotel. And this is notable because this Ryba route is notable because this is the first time, I think, that Russia is actually targeting foreign advisors directly inside Kiev. Previously, it was not Kiev, so this something rather unusual, especially because it's Kiev or Kiev, and that hitting a hotel tends to look very much like hitting a civilian building, which is a civilian building. So this is something just out of the norm. Otherwise, Russia had launched a massive missile strike again, as usual. So because it's so common, it's really nothing special now. Moving to the southern front, we do not have any reports since the capture of the Potemkin, Potemkin Island here, just south of Kherson City. That's all. Moving to the Zaporizhia line, significant information or breaking news is that after yesterday's report that there is an attack reported by Ryba, that the Russians actually attacked west of Dorozhnyanka, the Russian Defense Ministry today reported yesterday reported that they have captured Dorozhnyanka. Surya Maps reported that the town is empty. However, the Russian Defense Ministry's report actually say that they actually took out some Ukrainian forces in the attack. So not sure which one is true, but significantly is that they captured Dorozhnyanka, and this signify near a push that was unexpected within the Zaporizhia line, as the Russians have not really focused on this line much other than on the defensive operations. So yesterday, not yesterday, but I think it's the day before yesterday. I did report that there is reinforcement reaching at Zalizhny, which is actually to react to the offensive over at Dorozhnyanka. So this is something we shall see how the Ukrainians will react. Otherwise, previously I also reported that reinforcement have been reported at Vasinivka and Orekhiv. So maybe we can expect a bigger offensive in the near future. I'm not sure. Otherwise, we haven't have any report over the past 2 days of any other attacks along the line. Over at the Donetsk front. So for those that are not familiar, this is Donetsk Oblast and or region. Over at the Donetsk front, we have no fighting along the Voleda line. At least no reports of fighting over there. We have fighting reported at Marinka for both days, on the 30th and on the 31st. And this both reported. One is reported by Ryba, the other one is reported by the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. According to Ryba, on the 30th, they said that the Ukrainian forces has been squeezed to the western outskirts of the city, which then corroborates also what Sanya has reported since 23rd, which means that the Ukrainians might be now at the very edge of the town, or they are actually pushed into the forest lines just outside of Marinka. So this is actually quite a significant development. We shall see how this goes. whether within another week or two would the Russians actually declare victory over Marinka. There's fighting reported at Boyeda over on the 31st. Otherwise, that's all from the Marinka region. And there's also fighting at Krasnohorivka though, according to War Gonzo. This one is on the 30th. Moving on to the Pisky region, the only report coming out from the Pisky region was the fighting at Vodian, according to War Gonzo. This one also coming, reporting about the 30th action. And interestingly was the increase in fighting around Avdiivka. We have the Ukrainian Defense Ministry reported fighting at Avdiivka, Kayamka, as well as at Krasnohorivka over here. How I determined the Krasnohorivka here was that in this report, the locations is actually in sequence. So this put New York, Krasnohorivka, Kreminna, Avdiivka, Marinka, and that actually goes in the sequence, which is why I map it as this Krasnohorivka and not the other Krasnohorivka over here, because there's two Krasnohorivkas around these two places. But because of the sequencing of the towns, it looks like this is the one that they are is being mentioned. So no. Whether this is actually going to accumulate into a major offensive on the Avdiivka, it remains to be seen, but we do have reports of fighting on the 29th as well, and at Avdiivka and Kayamka, both reported by the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. I'm not sure what is the situation. We shall continue to monitor and see how this goes. And I believe there's helicopter shot downs. Yeah, so there's Mi-8 getting shot down over Novoselivske over here, just southwest of Pokrov, and then at northeast of Pokrov we have another Mi-8 getting shot down over Novoselivske. So this is the two Mi-8, and this actually again should spell a lot of concerns for the Ukrainian Air Force, because as you can see, all the helicopter shoot downs are actually pretty deep from the enemy, from the front lines. This is like 40 kilometers from the front line. The other one is like 50 kilometers, 40 kilometers, and which means that with all these helicopter shoot downs, means the Ukrainians are now struggling to conduct heli operations in the rear, because this is the rear. This is not even at the front. So helicopters flying in the rear is now under threat, and this is going to pose significant logistical problems, be it for the transportations of officers, or should it be medevac operations. Helicopters getting shot down is going to raise a lot of concerns in terms of the operational planning. Moving over to Holivka region, we have fighting reported at New York, according to Ukrainian Defense Ministry. The exact location of the fighting is unknown. And that's all from the New York front. Moving on to the Bakhmut front. At the Bakhmut, this is Bakhmut city. At the Bakhmut front, we are now here. At the Bakhmut front, we have fighting reported near Ozeryanivka, according to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry, on the New Year Eve. And there is also fighting west of Kurdyumivka on the 30th, according to the pro-Russian sources. We have fighting reported on both days, on 30th and 31st at Klishchiivka. For the Klishchiivka 31st, the New Year Eve battles, SITREP maps reported that the Ukrainians did limited counteroffensive over at this region. However, the Russians did push further into this area here. Otherwise, we do not have a repeat of any fighting mentioned anywhere near Ivanivske. However, we do have fighting reported south of Bakhmut. And according to Rusich army, a pro-Russian source, they reported that the Wagner and the airborne troops have entered Bakhmut from the south side, which is basically around this area here. SITREP maps reported the same thing. However, they say that he doubted that the Russian forces have entered the city proper. He mapped it just outside the city, although I don't think that makes a lot of difference. There is fighting reported at Opine, according to pro-Russian sources, Ryba, and where they say that the Wagner group have broke through some certain defense. Maybe this is just one building or something. and they say that they're fighting near certain buildings at certain streets, which I can't really map it accurately over here because I don't really know the streets very well around here, as the Google Maps don't really show the streets, and I think it's not very important. The tactical details are not very important in our coverage here. Both days fighting is reported at Bakhmut according to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry on both days, including New Year Eve. And previously on the third, we have already reported that Ryba reported the Russian forces are moving from the industrial zone out to attack westward into Bakhmut. Fighting was seen at Perhorodne on 30th as well as at Krasnohora. These two I have already reported in the last SITREP, because the last SITREP was reported quite late, so this information already came out. And this also raised one of the comments I read. Someone from the US said that the report is late, it's not timely. The reality is that every report, even though the dates wrote, like for example this 31st, this SITREP is on the 31st, if there's any reports that came out today talking about today, it will be on the map as well. So like for example, the report for, like I said, on the 30th, this thing happened, but the report was actually for the 29th. So all the reports are as timely as per the recording. So there is no information that is actually supposedly overly late. So unless I haven't reported for 3 days, then yeah, that's another case altogether. And please press subscribe if you haven't pressed subscribe. If you are not subscribed to this channel, please press subscribe. And the Russian forces is fighting at Bakhmutske on the New Year Eve, as well as at Soledar on both days, 30th and 31st. And the Russian forces are also reported fighting in the east of Soledar, eastern part of Soledar from Yakovlivka. So they told me to tell you to press the like button. And moving on to the Siversk front. At the Siversk front, we have fighting reported at Bilohorivka according to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. And further up north, within the Siversk front as well. Now we are here, in case you guys are lost, we are here at the Siversk front. The Russian Defense Ministry reported on the 31st of December that they attacked Serebryanka. So they engaged the Ukrainian forces near Serebryanka and caused certain amount of losses on the enemy side, of their enemy side. And I believe that the fighting is southeast of Serebryanka rather than in the forested area. And on both days, 30th and 31st, the Ukrainian Defense Ministry reported that they have defended attacks on Bilohorivka within Luhansk. So this Bilohorivka. Over at the Kreminna region, so now we are here at the Kreminna region, the Ukrainians launched a counteroffensive within the forested area, where there is recon forces reported fighting at Dibrova. There is a push towards Kreminna on the 30th, and there is also attacks or fighting reported near Shipilivka. So Shipilivka is actually this town, this village here, and because previously we have reported that the Russian forces have made some progress on the north of Bilohorivka according to Surya maps, so the fighting near Shipilivka is unlikely to be from Bilohorivka. The most likely is that the fighting near Shipilivka is actually from the forested area here. So maybe the Ukrainian forces, while they're pushing out towards Kreminna, another force actually pushed towards Shipilivka, and maybe they might attempt to do a crossing so that they can actually flank downwards to liberate the Ukrainian forces that are currently under pressure at Bilohorivka. According to the according to this, not Ryba, this is Vysoky Govorit, which is a pro-Russian source. They say that they are eyeing Staraya Krasnayanka, which is actually where is it? Oh, it's here. It's actually here. So how do they eye there? I have no idea actually. So with an eye for this, so maybe they are suggesting that the Ukrainian forces might want to push up, capture Pervilia, and actually cross the river again. I have no idea. This sounds a bit far. I don't think that makes any sense. I don't think that makes any sense. This analysis by this pro-Russian source sounds a bit far. Makes no sense. So further up north from the Kreminna front, the Russians at this area here north of Kreminna, is the Russians are actually in the initiative, where fighting is reported at Dorozhnyanka, Nevsky, as well as at Chervonopopivka. With Nevsky and Chervonopopivka report coming on the 30th. New Year Eve report is actually they are fighting at Dorozhnyanka. So, and that's all from the Kreminna front. And moving to the Svetove front, the Ukrainians have captured Novoselivske, or rather secured, because they haven't ever lost it entirely. So they have recaptured or secured, anyway, giving them the flag because this is a hard battle. But while that is happening, they still get airstrike and artillery strike by the Russian forces at Novoselivske. The Russians continue to push for Stemakivka on the 30th and 31st, and that's all from this area here. Over at the Kupiansk region, we only have reports of artillery strike at Kaislivka as well as at Timkovka. Timkovka is this region around here, this area here. And that's all from the Kupiansk front. The pro-Russian sources say that the Ukrainians are preparing a defense operation against a potential Russian attack on Voronezh and probably around this area here as well. But no, this kind of report usually quite pointless because it really depends on whether the Russians will attack. So yeah, those kind of report is just like filler. So that's all. And that's all from the summary for the day of 310 to 311, the 30th to 31st of December. So for those that want to access this map is going to be paywall. That means it's going to be behind a paywall. It will be accessible only for Patreons that subscribe to a membership of the $10 per month level. So then I will give you exclusive access through your email. Otherwise, this map will not be available for public anymore because DPA need the company, or DPA needs the revenue to actually expand to other stuff. So unfortunately, this takes a lot of work to do. So probably time to have it accessed being behind a paywall, and no choice, have to do it. Yeah. So anyway, but if you do subscribe, you not just the access to this, you also access the Syrian war map, and also you do contribute to the further growth of DPA, as the main channel currently everyone is moving to the DPA war channel to watch the Ukraine war, right? So but we need more resources and time to work on other geopolitical topics on the main channel. So a lot of operational things coming in 2023, so we need to do more. So anyway, please press the like button, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next update.